Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. First, let me thank the organizers for their kind invitation to participate again in this event. So going into your question, I would structure my brief remarks in terms of what are the EU initiatives and what is the EU prospects, basically, for the securities and capital markets, and then going on to the national situation, the local situation. So one of the key themes right now in the European Union is obviously the need for the Savings and Investments Union. Okay, so it's a discussion that dates back to 2015 when it was first introduced as what it was called at that time the Capital Markets Union. Yeah. We have not seen a lot of progress during the last decade in terms of this Capital Markets Union. And then we had last year, after the Commission requested it, we had obviously the Draghi report, we had the Letta report about the single market, and then we had also the Neuer report. So we had three very important reports detailing basically how Europe is lacking competitiveness, it's lacking behind obviously the United States, but also to the Asian economies, that there is not enough of financing for the companies in Europe to grow. A lot of the money in Europe are staying in savings account, and if they are not in savings account, there will be investments for US entity, not for European entities. So the lack of financing, the lack of enough capital, basically, it's a major detriment, basically, to the growth of the European Union. And that is why there has been a very strong momentum and a political will, I think, this time around for the Savings and Investment Union. That we had the Compass report by the Commission last spring. Now we're expecting very soon, maybe in the next month, we are expecting the proposal for the Commission for the SIU, which involves a number of initiatives. And this is very important for us because, as we all know, January 1st, we're taking over the presidency, right? So because of the presidency, there will be a number of items that will be falling under our hands, basically, to deal with. And through the SIU, we have the retail investment strategy of making transparency more important for retail investors, making it more accessible for retail investors, having better product for retail investors, and so on. We have what is called the revival of the securitization framework, which is very important because securitization framework has been something that has worked well in the past and in Europe as well, despite what happened during the global financial crisis in the US. The US has revived from the securitization very quickly. Europe has never revived, and we have seen very low levels of securitization in Europe, and that's why there is a very detailed proposal from the Commission how to revive securitization. We have improving the cross-border provision of funds and reducing operational burdens. We have the whole package of burden reduction and simplification that is needed because it's too much regulatory proposals that are coming out of Europe. We have pension reforms, tax reforms, insolvency reforms, and finally, one area that is controversial, it's the need for centralizing supervision. It's a controversial item. There are some countries that are very much in favor of centralizing and creating one European SEC similar to what you have in the US. There's other countries, including Cyprus, I should say, basically, that they feel that, SIU is very important, but we should not overestimate the importance of centralization. Yes, for certain market players, I understand the need for centralization of supervision. For example, central counterparties, CSDs, central security depositories, or trading venues. But a lot of others, I think they should remain within the national competent authorities' remit. So this is, in short, about the SIU. How many more minutes do I have? It's there. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is about a lot of developments happening in the digital asset space. There, obviously, in Europe, we have the MiCA, the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, which is a landmark regulation, started in January 1st. There is a lot of interest from either entities that have not been regulated up to now, or regulated entities, for example, investment firms, that they want to extend their services to cryptos. We have a pipeline of applications in Cyprus. We have been dealing a lot within Europe, within ESMA, basically to create convergence in our practices. A lot of scrutiny, especially when it comes to key players, key crypto players. And I think it's going well. And however, MiCA has limitations. For example, DeFi, decentralized finance, which is a core idea, basically, of the whole technology, is not part of MiCA. NFTs are not, non-fungible tokens are not part of MiCA. There's a lot of discussion right now in Europe about the use of stable coins because of what's happening in the US and because of the pro-stable coin environment that exists right now in the US, and especially with the Genius Act that came last summer. DORA is also very important. The Digital Operation Resilience Act started this year. And in terms of the local news, very quickly, we have now we're discussing, and we're hopefully close to the privatization of the stock exchange, the Cyprus Stock Exchange. The bill is, I'm hoping that soon will be passed from the parliament, and then the process can run. And in terms of the other markets, a lot of interest from MiFID license, investment firm license continues. A lot of interest, obviously, for MiCA licenses. And a lot of interest from crypto firms receiving a MiFID license and investment firm license as well. And funds, yes, they have been growing. I mean, I think with the revisions of the IFMD especially, which will be transposed into national law by next April, I think it has a lot of good points that will help the funds industry to grow even further. And I'll stop here.